When I came here, the biggest thing was the sewer plant was being constructed. And my concern was at that time that the massive amount of debt associated with that, plus the existing debt that the town had, would put it in a very bad situation. And for the first 3 or 4 years, what was done was basically to try to make it so that the town could make its debt payments, retire some, did a whole bunch of different things. Mayor Mason helped me. We went and visited with DEQ. We got relief on a whole bunch of stuff. And now frankly, the town is in pretty good financial situation. And in a few years, we're going to be even better. Right there. I'd say the biggest thing, Bird Street, getting that done took quite a bit. We have now finished the iced tea project, which was 20 years in the making. I mean, well before me, the depot was the first part of that. The last part of it was coming down Main Street, the last of the funds on East Main Street, right to the depot. Now we have to go get some more funds to come down the rest of the street. But until we spent those, we couldn't get any more. Right. So that's what we would be looking for now. But that's probably a little bit away because with the ARPA funds that we've received, that's some massive jobs for us to perform over the next couple of years.
Now, the ARPA, what is that?
That's the American Rescue Plan Act. Okay. The town received $5.2 million over 2 years. Okay. We had some massive or big expenditures that we had to watch out for. Specifically, the biggest one that we've got is the standpipe has to be replaced. Okay. Love the standpipe. It was built in 1911. General Knoll built it. I think the engineer's fee was roughly $800 at that time, and it's lasted for 111 years. So you got to give the man credit. It has worked pretty good. I mean, with the standpipe being the biggest project that we've got, but we got several others: sewer and broadband, water upgrades. Well, the water would be the standpipe, but sewer upgrades we've got too. We've replaced the operating system at both plants. A lot of this stuff people don't see. More focused on things that people do see. We've got a plan in place, and we're trying to redo the sidewalks, but it's going to take a while. Okay, we're financially sound now, but if we go out and borrow money to do it all at once, then we're right back where we were. So we've tried to take it a piece at a time. And we're pretty good shape now. In about 2025, with this, because we got this ARPA funds, we should be in good shape. If without the ARPA funds, we would be borrowing to do the standpipe, and we'd be right back where we were.
Now, are we going to replace the standpipe?
The standpipe has to be replaced.
So it's not going to be eliminated?
No, we're going to replace it with another one where it is.
Same height?
No, it has to be 14 feet higher. Okay, the reason for it being 14 feet higher is because of the Macon Road tank that's up behind Prospect Heights. Okay, it's 12 foot higher than the standpipe. So we can't fill that tank up because it equalizes with the standpipe. So we got to build the standpipe higher, then we can use 100% of the Macon Road tank at that time, which is about another 340,000 gallons of fresh water in the town. The pressure from the standpipe is what provides pressure for the water in town at night.
Right.
We shut the water plant down every evening and the weekend, so the standpipe is what provides pressure for the other 8 hours every day.
Right. Back in the early 2000s, we experienced a drought like you won't believe.
Yes.
What happened since then?
Well, in 2004, they built the reservoir. The reservoir is 45 million gallons. It's enough, roughly, it was designed to be a 60-day supply of water. It's a 60-day supply not only for the town of Orange, but also for the town of Gordonsville. Okay, so it's 45 million. We can take water out of the river. We can take water out of the reservoir. Our typical operation is take water from the river, put it in the reservoir, then drain it down to the water plant and use that. Okay, by by doing that, we don't take water every day out of the river, because if it's muddy, we don't want it. That just means you're going to have silt in the reservoir. And we tested the reservoir has been built in 2004. Okay, we had it year before last. We had it see how much silt was in the bottom of it. Barely a few inches where the intake is, because we wait till it's clear before we actually fill the reservoir up. But we got limitations on how much we can take out each day. But at that point in time, they built the raw water the barricade diversion barrier to help the intake. And then the intake pumps it up to the reservoir that sets up there.
Right. When I was working for the radio station back in the 1970s and early 1980s, one of the biggest problems that the town of Orange had was called inflow and infiltration.
Yes.
Is that still a problem?
When I came here, the I&I was a little about 45%. Okay. Which normally, as I understood it then, I wasn't that familiar with it, but I understand that typically you want to be around 20. That's where most towns and stuff are. We found several errors. We got it down to right around 10. Okay, the water side, we were producing about 40% more water and losing it, not able to sell it. Okay, because it was going out. We found that there were old meters at places, and as the meters spin, as the water goes through it and it spins, the impellers on there, they wear out. And when you get smaller, then you're not recording all the water that's going through there. We found some major ones of those. We found a couple major leaks that were a big concern then. It's like, well, where's the water going? Luckily, there was no damage done, but we fixed those things. And that really helped with we're not producing water that's just going back to the river. Okay, the I&I coming into the sewer plant is the same thing. But we do want some water. Okay, having that fresh water coming in is not bad for the operation of the sewer plant.
I'm sure you've heard that people say, oh, back in 50 years ago, there were all these retail businesses in the town of Orange, and they aren't there anymore. And why can't we have some more retail businesses in the town of Orange? Do you have any solutions for that?
And I would love to have more retail businesses. A lot of businesses are just going away from the brick and mortar, and they're more internet based, which I think hurts. I look at the town as, do we have what it needs to be business friendly, so to speak? And by that, water and sewer. Okay, we're not hurting. We're not like California, which is really hurting for water. I mean, our water capacity at our sewer plant, including Gordonsville, is only at 40%. Okay, our sewer capacity right now is only at 33%. So we got plenty of capacity in those. We're working on broadband. What we're weak on a little bit, I think, is we don't have a major interstate or a major road. I mean, it's not like 64 or 66. We're kind of right in the middle of all of them. And, people just don't pull in because they're traveling on the major highways. It would help with a little bit. We do have I think one of the roads is 15,000 cars a day, and the other one's 20. So, of the two major roads. So, that's not too small, but it's not too big. I just saw some the Weldon Cooper Center statistics, which I look at a lot. The town of Orange is 25th in population out of 190 towns in the state. In our region, only Culpeper and Warrenton are bigger than the town of Orange. The population of Orange also is bigger than one city and 3 counties, okay, which doesn't really make it that small, but it is a growth since I've been here of about 20% over that. Now we've had new homes are going up now, which will help. At Round Hill Meadows, the apartments, they were built a few years ago and they're full. We've also worked very hard toward beautification projects. We had a couple of houses went to Habitat, which were problem areas. We cleaned up the Gardner property behind the Route 20 market. We've worked very closely with Toot, and we're hoping we'll have right down at that area, we hope to have a stop with a sheltered stop for the food pantry and the clothes closet there, with the Toot running 1 day a week just to drop people off if they want to. We hope, our plans are, nothing definite yet because it's not been approved, but our plans are to turn the Gardner property in some kind of a park for tweens, I would say. Those that are able to be away from their parents but not able to drive or go somewhere. And since it's right beside the police department, we don't really see that as much of a problem, but we want to have things for them to do. That may be, I'm more in favor of stuff like temporary stuff, such as bringing in seasonal stuff, such as iceless ice skating. Maybe there for 3 months. Maybe you put up a basketball court, things that can be moved and done. Maybe we hope to have townwide yard sales. We're looking at a liquid feed system at the water plant, converting it from chemical feed. And our water plant, I got to give them kudos. We've received quality awards every year since 2006, either bronze or silver. Haven't got a gold. I don't know what you do to get one, but we've got bronze and silver every year since then. I would say that we've also had Tetra Tech, a farm out of West Virginia, has been doing for about the last 10 years, has been coming in and looking upstream for any water quality problems that we will have. And we really don't have any. Our biggest danger is if a tanker truck turns over in the Rapidan River. And if we can shut it off, we can live out of the reservoir until things are covered.
Right. One of the titles of this program is called Visions for the Future, and I was wondering, what do you see, or how do you see the town of Orange maybe 20, 50 years from now?
Well, I guess I look a little bit shorter term. Okay, I see right now in 2 years a major portion of our debt goes away. Well, 3 years, 3 more payments. Once that's gone, we haven't had to raise taxes or rates or that very much. Once that's gone, the town's in good shape. I think that the leaders and stuff that are here then, however they want to shape the town, it can be done. It has the capability. I'm not sure. I've heard different things about how people would like for it to be. I guess where I grew up. It's kind of like where I grew up, and it's more of a. I like things like Halloween. I like things like fireworks on 4th of July. That's the type of town that I grew up. I love the Christmas parade. I love the kind of Norman Rockwell feeling, but I also realize that you got to grow, and you got to have growth. If you don't have growth, then all you got left is taxes or cuts, and those don't fit very well with a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah. But if you can have growth, a lot of people ask us about, we would like to have a new supermarket. Well, we've tried. It's not just a matter of calling them up and saying, come in here. They have their criteria of what they're looking at, and we don't quite meet that. I won't name the store, but we looked at one of them and tried to talk to them. We thought that we could get them here, what they said, but they want 30,000 people within a 5-mile radius. And I'm like, well, the county's like 36,000, so I really can't meet that criteria.
What is the population of the town of Orange today?
Right at 5,000 now. It was over 5,000 at the census. They brought it down just below it. It's back up again. So it's right at 5,000.
Right.
Which is.
Have you found that since COVID hit, that the paradigm has changed and people are thinking more in terms of maybe being able to live in a town like Orange and still maintain their job remotely up in Northern Virginia or whatever?
Yeah, we see maybe we're the home, if you will, where people want to live rurally and, to get away from up there.
We've got a lot of people who rent here in the town of Orange, and he says, I wish we could make it more of them home owners as opposed to renters. Because then they have an investment in the town of Orange and not just frittering their money away on rent.
Yeah. Don't have an answer for that, but it is true. As I understand it, we're a little over 50% in rental properties. Home ownership is a difficult thing to do to get past. Where do the young people coming out get frankly, the down payment? If you can pay the rent, you could actually make the mortgage, but you've got to have the initial piece that comes in, which is what I think holds people back. Once they come over that, then they grow by, okay, I can buy a bigger home, sell the old one and do that. I mean, that's the way you get moving along.
Right.
But we do have a lot of rental property.
Any particular challenges you think you see in the future, in the distant future?
In the distant future, yes, Madison Road.
Oh.
Madison Road has to be replaced. This is a 8-figure project, and there's a lot of stuff underneath that road. It's going to be a massive deal, and we really don't have alternate paths. We're working on that. How are you going to get the traffic off of that while you try to work that road? It's a massive deal. It's the biggest one that we see in the future to take care of.
So what's the problem with Madison Road?
Oh, it's just, you talked about the I and all that stuff. There was what was the good name of the Spring Gardens and that sort of stuff is all underneath there. But there is old lines that are decades old that are not in good shape. And to get to them, to redo all that stuff, is just a massive job.
So it's the water and sewer lines underneath
water,
Madison Road.
sewer,
Storm
water, the whole piece of it. And you'll notice that right down at the bottom of it, when there's a heavy rain, that the water's there is because there's huge amounts of stormwater runoff, but it just can't handle the way that it's a bowl. Mm-hmm. It all just comes in there, and to fix that is going to cost a lot of dollars. But these are just not things that people really see. It's not the really things people like to see, I guess you would say. It's not the flowery pieces of it. It's the infrastructure what we spend most of our time worried about, or with the police and the issues of making the public. They do a great job too. As they, a lot of the businesses around town talk about how they like, as the police department at night goes by and they put a little sticker on the door, so we checked your door for you. That sort of stuff. It's just that community feeling that I think works very well. And I'm very proud of the police department here as to, with all the things that are going on in the world today, how well that they do. And I'm very proud of them.
Right.
And I can't say enough about the water and sewer. Now, I've been blessed since I've been here with most of the department heads are still the same ones that were here. And they know their job. Makes mine a whole lot easier.